Hi, welcome to today's lesson. So in today's lesson, we're going to be finding the value of x in this logarithmic function. So we have log 81 base x equals to 4. And how do we solve for the value of x? So we have to convert that this logarithmic equation into an index form. And how do we do that? We looked at that in the previous lesson. And that you have to take here and then cancel out the logarithm. So we have 81 equals to x to the power of 4. Okay, so from our knowledge about indices, so what raised to the power of 4 will give us 81. So that's actually 3 to the power of 4 will give us 81. And so you have x to the power of 4. So basically, I can cancel out this 4 and say that the value of my x is actually 3. All right. So let's look at this example. And so we have log 32 base x equals to 5. How do we find the value of x? We have to convert to index form. And so we cancel out this log. And what we have here is 32 equals x to the power of 5. All right, so what raised to the power of 5 would actually give us 32? That's 2 raised to the power of 5 will give us 32. So you have 2 to the power of 5 will give us 32, and you have x to the power of 5. And then since they have the same power, so we could cancel that, and we have x equals to 2. So okay, then you have this. You can pause the video and try this out yourself. All right, log 64 base x is equals to 6. How do you find the value of x? So like we've always been doing, just take this there and cancel out the log. And what we have is 64 is equal to x to the power of 6. So what to the power of 6 would actually give us 64? And that's 2 to the power of 6 would give 64, and you have x to the power of 6. Since they have the same index, I can cancel out the indices, and have x equals to 2. And we have this. Okay. Now we have log x squared minus 2x plus 5 to the base 2 equals to 2. This looks complicated, but then it's just the same procedure you have to follow. Then I'm going to turn this back to index form, and I'm going to take this here and cancel out the log. And what I have is x squared minus 2x plus 5 is actually equal to 2 to the power of 2. Okay, so I have x squared minus 2x plus 5 equals 4. And so I'm going to bring 4 to this side, and then I have x squared minus 2x plus 5. Then that becomes minus 4 equals 0. And so I have x squared minus 2x plus 5 minus 4, that's plus 1 equals 0. So this leads us to a quadratic equation. And how do we solve for a quadratic equation? We've done that in the previous video. You just have to use the formula method. And so we have x equals minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So basically, there's an invisible one here, which is the that's our a, and minus 2 is our b, and plus 1 is our c. Okay, then I have x becomes B is minus 2, that's minus into bracket minus 2, then close up the bracket, plus or minus square root of B is minus 2 squared, then minus 4, then that was our A is 1, and our C is 1 also. And that's divided by 2A, that's 2 into bracket 1. So basically, our X now become, so minus times minus becomes plus, that's 2, then plus or minus, so I'm going to congest that together, then square root of minus 2 squared is 4, then minus, that's 4, then minus 4 times 1 times 1 is 4, and that's divided by 2. 2 times 1 is 2, so I have X becomes 2 plus or minus, I have a square root of 0 over 2, and so we have X equals to 2 over 2, and that's equals to 1, but that's actually twice. That's twice. It's actually twice because of the plus or minus. So basically, our X is 1. Then we have this question, log x squared plus 2x plus 2 equals to 0. Then you have the base 3. All right, so what to convert that to index form, and what we have is this. Then cancel out the log. Then we have x squared plus 2x, then plus 2, then that equals to 3 to the power of 0. Then I have x squared plus 2x, then plus 2 equals to 3 to the power of 0 is 1. And so I'm going to take this back here. I'm going to have x squared plus 2x, then plus 2 minus 1 equals to 0. And so what I have is x squared. I have x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals to 0. So to definitely find the value of x for this, result back to formula x equals minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Of course, there are several methods to factorize this. You can do that by trial by error method, but this is the most direct way to actually do it. So you have x equals, what's our b? This is our b plus 2, and this is our a. There's an invisible one here, our a, and this is our c. Okay. Then my b is, that's minus, then my b is plus 2, then plus or minus square root of what's b squared? B is 2 squared minus 4 into a is 1. Okay, then that's 1. Then our c is also 1, then over 2a. 2a is 1, and so we have x equals That's minus 2 plus or minus square root of 4 minus 4 divided by 2. And so what I get is x basically equals to minus 2 over 2. And that's equals to minus 1. But because we have plus or minus here, we're going to put twice there. So it's going to be twice. So that means you have our answer is minus 1 and minus 1. So basically, x, the value of x here is minus 1.